journalism. This is News 7 at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Frizzalone. While Congress decides on federal funding for the next fiscal year, Vermont is dealing with their own budget on a state level.
And I'm Jen Falsetti. Governor Shumlin's budget would make $44 million worth of cuts to the human service budget. Video journalist Dave Marks explains.
If we hear what is really on people's minds, and if we hear what people are experiencing, and I know that that is not an easy thing to do.
Vermont Agency of Human Services will face tough choices for the fiscal year 2012.
Yes, we had a lot of federal stimulus money to try to get us through, and that money's gone.
With federal funding being cut, the governor's proposed budget must be a modest one. The department will look to reduce administrative and overhead costs.
All those face-to-face relationships are really key, so we're not going to be able to we don't want to give that up, so we're going to augment what we can with technology to save money and become more efficient, but yet the things that are really working well face-to-face, we want to keep those intact.
Whether it's mental health, food stamps, or heating assistance, any cuts that are made will be significant because of who they affect.
We're dealing with the vulnerable Vermonters, so whatever we did in cutting was going to have an impact on somebody.
Some would argue that government-assisted childcare would be ideal to cut, and funding may be in danger.
So everybody in America says we want people to go out and work, right? Well, how do you go out and work if there is not decent quality, affordable childcare in the community?
Senator Sanders believes that if anything, funding for programs like Headstart should be increased, not cut. Local parents that receive funding from the program can't imagine what their child would be like without it.
To meet other children and to work on his intellectual development at the same time. So now, 2 years into the program, I can't imagine having come this far without having the Head Start program there.
And he tells me these things that I didn't teach him. I can only provide him with what I know. Head Start provides him with everything else.
Head Start is a national program which did not take any cuts in fiscal year 2011. This week, Congress will decide if they will cut funding, which would affect 14 Vermont locations and 200,000 children nationwide.